what are some things they can do to protect their wealth? Where would you recommend that they maybe reinvest? I know it's going to be different depending on everyone's tolerance, but if someone did come to you and they said, hey, look, Samuel, I'm sitting on some money here. I've reinvested into my business. It's growing consistently, but I also want to know what I should do with the rest of this cash. Are there some things that come to mind on where you might recommend that they invest? Let's say they were here in Dubai.
Yeah, so there are nowadays two types of categories. The young hustlers who say, I don't want to own anything because they watch some YouTube videos and think that's cool. And they say, I want to keep all in crypto, and that's totally fine. But most people who have wealth just invest in proper assets, honestly. And the number one asset, which is easy to invest, is just real estate. Once you have enough money, I don't see personally any other option, but that's maybe just my tolerance. I'm invested everywhere. And in the first years, the only thing that I was doing is to reinvest, to buy new businesses. And that's great. If you buy in a sphere and you have a lot of businesses that you control, it brings you a lot of money and kept me a lot of freedom. But overall, I think real estate is probably the best option. Why? You get residency in countries. It's hard assets that where nothing can happen. Basically, there's no big up and down. And especially if you have 10 million or more net worth, you should always set up a trust or a foundation and then put some real estate under it. And then once you have this wealth, nothing can happen to you anymore, because everything else that most young people have, crypto money, e-commerce money, it's still like fugazi, It's not even real. Like they say, money is not real, but it becomes real when you stand in front of your big villa, Then money is real. Until you reach this point, it's not real. And so I think once you have enough money, just buy some real estate and then you're at least safe, because now okay, there will be always enough space for my family or for all people. Nobody can take it from me because it's under a trust or under a foundation. And I didn't see any client of us who has $50 million or more and doesn't own real estate. We had some clients who have like $30 million and they're really full in crypto, all in. But that was the limit that I saw so far. Everybody else above it for sure had real estate. And people think you don't have freedom and it will like block your mind and you need to solve some things. It's not the case, because if you do proper investments, it's just fully managed. You have nothing to do with it.
So what would be an example of something that's fully managed? Would it be like a serviced hotel kind of thing, or that kind of route?
Yeah, this is the easiest way, serviced residences. I like serviced residences. Yes, you have a little bit smaller return maybe, but they are just reliable, And you realize this once you make good money and travel around the world, but not brokey style, rich style, and you go to the best hotel chains in the world. Let's say you travel all over the world, only to Four Seasons or Mandarin Oriental or Amman, and you realize that, hey, it doesn't matter if I'm now in Miami or somewhere in Japan or in Thailand or in the Middle East, or somewhere in the mountains of Bhutan, the quality of these brands is everywhere the same. They are great everywhere. So these brands are just reliable. And if you invest in these brands, you can just expect quality. It's safe, it's stable. They're always in the best locations. That's the next point. If I traveled to a new place in the past, I just always look where Four Seasons, Mandarin Oriental are located, stayed there, and it's anyways the best location, usually in a city. And when you invest in a brand in an A location, it's just safe, low maintenance. This would be one option, yes.
And any other recommendations?
I mean, for me personally, I like to always invest in A locations. So let's say, talking about Dubai, I like still Palm Jumeirah, Emirates Hills, Jumeirah Bay Island, because it doesn't matter how many buildings they build somewhere in the desert, people still want to go to Palm Jumeirah, Jumeirah Bay Island, or the New Palm. These A locations will be always interesting. And this is probably just the safest bet, So real estate and all investments, it's like business, A lot of people fail. They make some mistakes, but it's not the fault of crypto or the fault of real estate or the fault of this business. It's your fault because you just didn't do the right decision or you trusted the wrong people, and just learn from it, for next time. You still need to do investments in the future, even if you did one wrong investment, I got scammed many times or did wrong investments, but I learned from it.
It seems like you have learned a lot since being in Dubai. And again, I don't know what, your knowledge was when you were back in Germany. I know you were involved in Ecom. Was it the supplement niche? So, and you still have that business today, right? So you don't in my opinion, speak like someone who's in ecom. You speak very much to someone who's very well-rounded of many different things. Obviously, wealth is your industry, if you like, which is obviously a good industry to be in. But I guess I would say you have almost like a wealth of knowledge as well, because you just have a good understanding on a lot of things, which obviously allows you to be able to advise people on what to do with their wealth. But where does this knowledge come from? Is it just you've developed it over time? One thing I feel like in Dubai is I feel like I grow very quickly here, you know, not just from like a revenue or profit perspective, but on a personal level, my own knowledge and the things that I understand, the people that I talk to, the way in which I communicate, everything levels up very quickly. So do you think that's just your combination of knowledge is just the time that you've been here, obviously, in your own personal attitude towards the things that you do? Or is it anything else that's maybe led to this position that you're in now?
Yeah, I think Dubai is a good point, and it's definitely shaped me. And that's what I always say. So you shouldn't move to Dubai just because of taxes or something. Yeah. It's because of the person you become, you know. So 150 years ago, you want to be rich, what do? You take a boat and drive to the US, you know. Everything else is not real, you know. You need to drive to the US with a boat and get rich, you know. And nowadays, it's the same here. Like, where is every person going? To Dubai, you know. So you're serious about getting rich. You want to have the best network around you, the best circle you want to develop. You move to Dubai. It's very easy. And you need to level up here, because it's not a place to just hang out a little bit and to enjoy. And it's so nice, you know. Everybody comes here to build something. And these are the aspirations of the government. The government said, if you are not willing to work hard, you're not welcome here, you know. So it's this self-made hustle vibe, the same like the US 150 years ago, when everybody just immigrated with a boat to build a new life, a better life, which means a lot of new ideas are here mixing here, new ideas, a lot of ambitions, a lot of visions, and it's all mixing here in Dubai. And that's why I love the city, because now we are sitting here together. We are people from different countries with a different background, but everybody just connects here to build something. Everybody is on one path, and this is only the path to the top, basically. And everybody has this vision to some degree to build a family, to build a business, to build a community, to build a good life. And all this other nonsense is basically cut out. And I think this is most important, to immerse in a new world, basically. So I decided in the past, I need to leave Germany. And in best case, I never come back. Why? Because otherwise, when I come back, I'm back in my old mindset, in this old habits, this old thoughts. And I always felt this death by 1,000 cuts, you know. I need to do this, now I have this distraction, and you can't even develop. And now here you are in a new world. You start from zero. When I arrived here, I didn't know anybody, not one person. The first months here I was completely alone, and I didn't needed somebody from my old surrounding. So I thought I will build now a new circle, a new environment. And this is the easiest way to just reprogram you and to just build a new life. And that's why I always love this idea to move. Maybe Dubai is not even the best place in 20 years for you, but it's the best starting point. Because right now, yes, maybe Saudi Arabia, Oman and everything is developing, but most people are just not moving there in step one. Dubai is the entry point, and you don't need to adapt that much, because very easy to find people even from your country if you want so, to build the same community. But you can really focus on rethinking. And I think when you travel and go to a new place, you can just rethink your whole life, basically, and the whole world. And in the first years, when you're just in this like business scaling mode, at least at this time, I didn't have many other thoughts. I didn't care about politics, about whatever happens in the world. I thought about, I need to get rich. Yeah. But once you reach this point, and this was for me 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago, I thought, okay, now in theory, I have enough money. Last year, I thought maybe I could now just go to pension, basically, and just not work. So now I have time and like space of mind to also think about other topics, maybe, which are not just only business related. And I think it's all connected to some degree. So I think just making more money and moving to Dubai and building a new surrounding gives you automatically the possibility to just develop. And you have no other choice anyways than to develop, you know, especially 100%. Here.
I completely agree. I think you touched on a lot of perspectives that I share. I moved to Dubai. I knew a few people. Fortunately, I moved out here with my partner. I live with her, and that was very nice. It was our first time actually moving in together, so that was a step, but everything worked out perfectly. Very, very happy here. And same as you, I almost felt like I had the ability to, I don't want to say reborn, but you can reinvent the person of you that everyone thinks they know, you know? So I came out here, I was very focused. I thought, you know what? I really enjoyed talking to people. I've always wanted to build a podcast. What better place to do it? Started that. I've been very focused on business, the same as yourself. And I feel like if you're hard working out here based on the surroundings that you're in, the abundance that is around you, it's very motivating, and it's almost impossible not to win as long as you just keep on your path, stay laser vision, narrow focus, like you said. Don't get distracted by all the pretty things, which there's a lot of here. You know, just keep focused on what you're doing and you will get there. And during that process, you'll keep leveling up as a person. And hopefully by the time I've been here for 3 years, you know, I'll be feeling like you're feeling right now, because I already feel it after 13, 14 months here. So I can only imagine another, you know, year and a half, how I will feel then, you know, and I don't see myself being anywhere else but here. It's like you say, the USA was in like the 90s, the land of opportunity, you know. There's so much opportunity here in no matter what industry you're in, you know.
Yeah, it's all about the surrounding. Imagine you just stand here on this table and now 5 people try to drag you down. You will be dragged down. There's no other possibility. I just imagined I would start a podcast when I was 16, living in my village in Germany, you know. Now you are the new influencer, you know, like everybody's just hating on you. And this is a city here where nobody is hating, you know. Everybody wants you to succeed. There's no other way. And yeah, the surroundings, everything. So now again, you stand on this table and everybody is dragging you up. It's very easy to level up just because of the surrounding. And I mean, where do you meet so many? Yes, of course, you meet also bad people and scammers, like in every capitalistic environment. But you also meet this 50% who are just on another level successful. And they are mostly self-made. There are not many people that I know here who inherited something. Most of them are self-made. And that's why it's great. And surrounding is everything is.
Yeah, really, really important. I agree.